Welcome back, Legends. A brand new special car hunt has just dropped today in Asphalt Legends. And this time we're getting the FV Frangivento Asfané. This is the last special event of the Tuj Masters season. And just like the other special car hunts, the overall structure is pretty much the same. The main difference this time is the featured car, the blueprint requirements, the drop rates, and of course, how much grinding we need to do. The event runs from August 10th to August 25th, giving us a total of 15 days to hunt down the FV Frangivento Asfané. And before you guys start grinding, there are a few very important things I want to talk about. How good is this car? Is it worth spending around 32 million credits to max? How difficult is the grind? And most importantly, if you already have this car unlocked from the previous Drive Syndicate event, should you even spend your credits on it again? So let's break down everything you need to know. Special car hunt, how it works. First, the special car hunt structure itself hasn't really changed. There are no required support cars, no extra fuel system, and the main thing you need to manage is your tickets and your time. But don't confuse that with an easy event. This is still a massive grind. If you're starting this car from scratch, you need to be prepared to play a lot of races throughout these 15 days. Based on the event calculations, we're looking at around 730 races in total to complete the full grind. That's roughly 50 races per day. So yeah, this is definitely not something you want to leave until the final few days. If you start early and keep playing consistently, the grind becomes much more manageable. FV Frangivento Asfané. How good is it? Now let's talk about the car itself. And I'm going to keep this simple. The FV Frangivento Asfané is basically the definition of an average car. It's not terrible, it's not amazing, it's just average. Looking at the fully maxed stats, the top speed reaches 373.9 kilometers per hour. That's decent, but it's definitely not going to compete with the top Class A cars when we're talking about long straightaways. Then we have acceleration at 82.03. Again, decent. It gets off the line well enough and can stay with the pack, but there's nothing exceptional here. The handling is 69.13, and once again, it fits perfectly with the rest of the car. It's decent, it's usable, and it's not difficult to control, but I wouldn't call it a high-tier handling machine. And finally, the nitro efficiency sits at 67.63. That's also decent. The nitro does its job, but it's not something that suddenly makes this car special. So when I put all these stats together, I'm looking at a very middle-of-the-road car. It won't necessarily hold you back in multiplayer, but I also wouldn't expect it to carry you to easy victories. Should you upgrade it? Now this is where I think F2P players need to be careful. The total cost to fully upgrade the FV Frangivento Asfané is around 32.2 million credits. More specifically, it's about 32,207,600 credits. And nowadays, credits are more valuable than ever. There are so many events where we need to upgrade different cars just to participate, and the amount of credits we can freely farm is pretty limited. So I personally wouldn't rush to spend 32 million credits on a car that's basically average across the board. And there's one more thing that makes this even more important. If you guys already got the FV Frangivento Asfané key from the previous Drive Syndicate event, then please don't waste your credits just because this special hunt is available. You already have the key, so use this event to collect all the blueprints you can and grind as many epic import parts as possible. If your credits are limited, there's absolutely no reason to drain your credit balance just to upgrade this car immediately. Get the value from the event first. You can always upgrade the car later if you actually need it. Blueprint requirements. Now let's look at the actual requirements. To fully max the FV Frangivento Asfané, you need 249 blueprints. The blueprint requirements are 28 blueprints for the first star, 32 more for the next, then 44, then 59, and finally 86 for the last star. That gives us the full 249 blueprints needed, and that final 86 blueprint requirement is obviously where the grind gets much heavier. For import parts, you need 24 common import parts, 20 rare import parts, 16 epic import parts. And as always, those 16 epic parts are going to be the real headache. Stage 1, the most painful start. Now let's go stage by stage. Stage 1 is usually where the special car hunt grind feels the worst, especially if you're starting the car completely from scratch. The estimated drop rate here is around 8.51%, with roughly 100 races estimated for the stage. That's already a serious amount of racing just to get through the first part. And this is exactly why I always recommend starting the event as early as possible. If you're starting from zero, stage 1 can feel painfully slow because you need a lot of blueprints, while the drop rate is still relatively low. And if Gameloft puts long 90-second or 120-second tracks into these early stages, that makes the situation even worse. For special car hunts, I really think 60-second races are the perfect length. Anything longer just increases fatigue when you're repeating the same race dozens and dozens of times. So I really hope the early stages stay reasonable. Stage 2, still a big grind. Stage 2 improves the estimated drop rate to around 9.80%, but we're still looking at roughly 100 races. So don't expect the grind to suddenly become easy. If you're starting from scratch, this is still one of the most painful parts of the event. My advice here is simple. Don't look at the full 249 blueprint requirement and think about everything at once. Just focus on getting through one stage at a time. That makes the grind feel much more manageable. Stage 3, better momentum. Once you reach stage 3, things start moving a little better. The estimated drop rate increases to around 11.76%, and the calculation puts the stage at roughly 115 races. The blueprint requirement is higher, but the improved drop rate helps balance things out. This is basically where I'd call it the momentum phase. You're already past the most frustrating beginning, and if you've been consistent, you should start seeing your car progress more quickly. Stage 4, more manageable. Stage 4 pushes the estimated drop rate up again, this time to around 13.73%. The estimated race count is around 135 races, so yeah, the number still looks huge. But compared to the early stages, the better drop rate makes the grind feel more rewarding. At this point, consistency is everything. Keep using your tickets, keep collecting the blueprints, and don't let the size of the grind discourage you. Stage 5, the rewarding stage. Now, stage 5 is probably the stage I'm most interested in. The estimated blueprint drop rate is around 15%, and there's also a 1% epic import part drop rate in the calculations. The estimated race count is around 95 races, and this stage is especially rewarding because you're getting the better blueprint rewards while also having a chance at epic parts. So compared to the earlier stages, this one feels much more worthwhile. You're not only working toward the next star anymore, you're also starting to build up those valuable import parts. Stage 6, the epic grind. And then we reach stage 6. This is where things get brutal. The estimated epic drop rate is only around 2%, and the calculation puts this stage at roughly 185 races. So yeah, this is going to be the slowest part of the entire special hunt. Epic import parts have always been one of the biggest pain points in these events, and a 2% estimated drop rate means you need a lot of patience. But this is also where I'd make a very important distinction. If you already have the car key from the previous Drive Syndicate event, you don't need to treat this like a key hunt. You can simply grind for the value, get the blueprints, get as many epics as you can, and if your credits are limited, leave the car without spending millions on upgrades. That's much smarter resource management. So if we add everything together, we're looking at approximately 730 races across all 6 stages. That works out to around 50 races per day over the 15-day event. And this is probably the most important number to remember. Because when I say special car hunt, it sounds simple, but 730 races is a serious time commitment. That's why I wouldn't recommend trying to finish everything in the last few days. Start early, use your tickets consistently, and slowly work through the stages. My recommendation. So here's what I would do. If you don't have the car yet, absolutely grind the event. Get the blueprints, unlock it, and collect as many parts as you can. If you already have the key from the previous Drive Syndicate, definitely still play the event. But this time, I'd focus heavily on the free value. collect the blueprints, grind the epic import parts. And if your credits are limited, don't waste them upgrading this car right now. Leave the upgrades for later. There's no reason to destroy your credit balance for an average Class A car when you might need those credits somewhere else. Final thoughts. The FV Frangivento Asfané Special Hunt is definitely worth playing, but I wouldn't rush to spend my credits on this car. The car itself is pretty average, and with around 32.2 million credits needed to fully max it, I think F2P players should be very careful with their resources. The real value here is the free 249 blueprints and 16 epic import parts, especially if you already have the key from the previous Drive Syndicate. In that case, just grind the event, collect everything you can, and save your credits. The grind is still huge with around 730 races over 15 days, and Stage 6 will be the biggest test because of the low epic drop rate. So for me, this is a grind for free rewards event, not a must-invest event. Get the value, protect your credits, and upgrade the car later only if you actually need it. That's everything for the FV Frangivento Asfané Special Hunt. Grind smart, manage your tickets, collect those blueprints and epics, and most importantly, don't waste your credits if you don't actually need to upgrade this car. Don't forget to subscribe, Legends. See you on the track.